Well, there's been extensive news reports on Tom Moyane's involvement in a multi-million rand VAT refund to the Guptas. 3 payments totaling 70 million rand were reportedly made to a third party for Oakbay in June, July and August last year. Now, in his book, The President's Keepers, author Jacques Pauw talks about the close ties between Moyane and former President Jacob Zuma. The book then explains why Moyane was given one of the most crucial jobs in the country. Well, Jacques Pauw joins me now. Jacques, good evening. Thanks very much for talking to us. But perhaps before we get to some of the things that you have said and written before, the presidency is yet to give details about the inquiry beyond saying, and I quote, the disciplinary inquiry relates to alleged leadership and organizational failures. From what you have been able to pick up from your sources and given, of course, your previous investigations, what has Tom Moyane done or not done that which he will be getting into this inquiry for?
Well, I think the most crucial charge against him is going to be his handling of the investigation into his second-in-command, Jonas Mokwakwa. Now, what happened is towards the end of 2016, the Financial Intelligence Center reported a series of suspicious and unusual money flows through Mkwakwa's bank account. The amount was, if I remember correctly, 1.7 million, and it was paid into his account and that of his girlfriend over a period of 5 to 6 years. So there were suspicions of money laundering. Now, what Moyane did, instead of immediately suspending Mkwakwa and launching a full-scale investigation against him, he sat on the report for 3 months and only suspended Mkwakwa after the Amabungani investigative unit broke the story. Now, charges have already been laid against Moyane for breaching the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act. Now, Moyane then asked a firm of attorneys to investigate Mkwakwa. Mkwakwa sat at home for almost a year earning his full salary before he was reinstated by Moyane, and it then emerged that the firm of attorneys couldn't investigate crucial aspects of the complaint because they couldn't get access to Mkwakwa's tax records. Mkwakwa never answered to the allegations of money laundering, and the investigation against him was a complete whitewash. Now, there's several aspects where Moyane is facing difficulties. The one is the fact that that the tax ombudsman has found that SARS has been withholding tax refunds from taxpayers. Now, this was allegedly done in order to boost their income, because in the first year of Moyane's rule at SARS, the tax authority declared a 10 billion rand shortfall. In the second year, it was around 30 billion rand, and in the previous tax year that ended at the end of February this year, SARS declared an almost 50 billion rand shortfall. A drove of senior executives, managers, tax specialists have left SARS since Moyane became the commissioner in October 2014. He's also disbanded all 5 of the investigations units of SARS, which means that the service has no ability to extract taxes from the illicit economy. His rule, in fact, has been a complete disaster.
Well, the acting commissioner, SARS commissioner, has, of course, certainly in the interview we had him with him here not too long ago, he has said that, or suggested at least, that the monies were not willfully, the refunds were not willfully withheld, but rather they were genuine mistakes. But perhaps let's leave that for now. But the other allegation that has been leveled against Mr. Moyane is that he, in fact, stopped investigations into the tax affairs of former President Jacob Zuma.
Absolutely. By the beginning of 2014, SARS was investigating the tax affairs of the president. They were investigating his tax compliance with the upgrades on Kandla. They were investigating his son Edward Zuma. They were investigating his nephew Kulabusi Zuma. They were investigating the Guptas, and they were investigating several organized criminals that had links to the Zuma family. All those investigations have been stopped.
Now, from what you know from your sources and insiders, is it your understanding that Tom Moyane is now on his own with no senior or SARS officials prepared to support or be seen to be supporting him?
Absolutely, I think he's quite a lonely man at the moment. You know that he's number two, Jonas Mkwakwa, the man we have just mentioned. He has resigned as well. And you know, I've heard very, very good things about Mark Kingan, the current acting commissioner of SARS. You know, apparently he wants to bring back the investigations units. He wants to bring back some of the old expertise that SARS have lost. It's going to be a long and difficult road, but it seems as though there's at least hope for SARS, and that they will be able to regain their former glory.
Jacques, Pauw, thanks very much for talking to us this evening. He is, of course, the author of The President's Keepers, a book which gives insights into what has been happening at SARS over the past while.